Hi everyone, welcome back to the Daily Lawyer podcast. I am with Mr. Kushal Gandhi, who is a partner with CMS in London, and he is a partner with the Litigation and Arbitration practice. Kushal also spoke at the same panel where they discussed arbitration and mediation as complementary processes. And I want to ask Kushal, what are the trends that you see going forward in integrating arbitration and mediation as a dispute resolution process from an international perspective and also from like an India perspective?
So look, I think mediation and arbitration are complementary. They certainly work together and can work together. I think mediation is one of those things which will probably remain. There will be greater adoption for mediation, in my view, if it's not restricted by rules. And so I think one of the trends that I certainly see is that actually mediation being left to its own devices, mediation being used as a tool, and parties not having to sort of be straitjacketed into the way they use mediation. So I think that's certainly a trend. I think there is a greater trend to use mediations, full stop. And I think in the India story, I sort of think that mediation, there will be greater adoption for mediation, but it's going to take a bit of time, I think. I think one of the challenges with mediation in India is that parties have an innate need to sort of drag things on because they don't want to necessarily resolve it. But I think, and that sort of culture that comes with disputes is difficult to break. And I think what mediation does is it breaks the mold a bit. So I think parties will start to realize that they do want to take it up more, and I think it will come. And there's certainly a lot of appetite, as we saw from discussions. There's definitely a lot more appetite for it.
But what's happening in the international space when you say that, in India, it'll come and it'll happen. But what is happening there right now and how is it being integrated together today?
So what is happening is there's a lot of very sophisticated mediators. There's a lot of talent amongst the mediator pool, which is a significant driver to sort of make mediation more accessible. There is a push from lawyers and practitioners who understand mediation a bit better, who have had positive experiences of mediation that they're able to then tell their clients about, which is helping. And then I think there is an element of clients as well, and the sophistication that comes with their own thinking and their own stakeholders actually wanting to resolve disputes, but wanting to do it without having to feel like they have necessarily given something up themselves. And I think that is what is driving the change.
So then, from what I hear you saying, there's an attitudinal shift over there, which is not yet come here. A capacity building difference that is there, which is not yet come here. So we're still a little more premature in the world of mediation.
I wouldn't go as far as saying it's premature, but I think mediations is one of those things where you'll never see. I don't think you'll see a big bang in relation to mediations, for example, because I think it's one of those things where if something settles at a mediation, no one's going to talk about it, and that's the beauty of it in some respects. Is the success of mediation is that you don't hear about that many disputes. The success of mediation is that actually disputes become less. So that's why you won't necessarily see it. So I think in India, the reason why you probably don't hear about it as much is because the discussion, to the extent there is one, is all about rules. It's all about frameworks. It's not necessarily about the practical use cases that we've seen so far.
Do you think it's a little more pedantic?
I think it's the nature of the legal practice in India, which is, we start with rules, we start with legislation. That's our starting point. We like frameworks. So, we start there and then we sort of build on top of that. So it's when we've gone to the next stage and broken the mold a bit, I think that's when you'll see more talk. But, the positive is practitioners are talking about mediation a lot more in India than I think that I've ever heard them talk about it.
Okay. On that note, thank you.